Here's pretty much everything you need to know in order to troubleshoot one of these Amana washing machines. In order to get it into service diagnostic mode, you need to go left, right, 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 left, right. At that point, all of the lights except the lid lock will start blinking, and for now we are going to pick option 1, which is going to show us the error codes. All of the error codes are going to be written in binary. This may be a little bit confusing, but I'll break it down pretty easy. When reading the error codes, you can completely forget about the lid lock light. Each of the corresponding lights going from right to left is 1, 2, 4, and 8. The light for sensing fill is an F when it's lit up and an E when it's not lit up. For example, if you've got these 3 lights here, that would be an F6 code. If you just simply had 1 light here, that would be an E1. Here's another example where we've got 4 lights lit up. To figure this out, we just add 4 plus 2 plus 1, which equals 7. So that is an F7. These 2 lights are equal to F1. And the last example is this single light, which is an E4. Now that that's all as clear as mud, we're going to diagnose the first code, which is an F8E1 error code. We'll go to the troubleshooting manual, and that is long fill or no fill. It gives you a few troubleshooting options here, but basically when it's calling for water, it's not sensing anything filling up. The next error code is an F0E4 error code. Head back over to the troubleshooting manual, and it's telling us we have an off-balance load. Once we've read all the error codes, we're going to need to exit out of that, and then we will enter the manual test mode. Once again, that's left, right, 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 left, right. Then we will select option 3, which is manual test. Once we've selected manual test, we can individually test each of the components. So for example, if we wanted to test the cold water valve, we turn the dial until the spin light is activated. In order to test the hot water valve, we are going to need the rinse light to be illuminated. We're also going to check the drain pump, so we're going to need wash, rinse, and spin all activated in order to test that. And here we're testing the cold water valve, which right now we're getting nothing. Hot water valve, we're actually getting water, so now we know it's not working on the cold water side. Just to make sure it's not a water pressure issue, we're going to take the hose off, and we've got full flow. So next, we will check voltage at the water valve. We're going to remove these screws holding the back panel on, and then there are 2 clips that hold this front bezel in place. Once we have access to the water valve, while it's still calling for cold water, we're going to check, and we've got 121 volts of electricity. Another test that we can do is we can ohm out the water valve. We're actually getting a reading on the hot water side, but on the cold water side, it looks like there's an issue with that coil. We don't need to wait for parts and order it because we've got a spare one in the shop. Get back on site, shut the water off, and now we're going to get this water valve replaced. This water valve is held in place by 2 screws. Get those removed, throw away the old one, and get the new one reinstalled. Reassemble everything, give it power, and test it out. Once we get back into service mode, we're going to choose option 4, which is a calibration. Anytime you do anything to a machine or you move it or anything like that, it's best to run a calibration mode, and this takes somewhere between 2 to 4 minutes. Once it ran the calibration mode, we did check for error codes, and we did not have any. At this point, we're basically done. We're going to put our service manual back, which on this washer is hidden in the weirdest spot. But we have one more appliance saved from the landfill. This was all the waste that was created, and we're going to be done with this project and on to the next one.